Hey mama, if you're listening to this, you might be carrying a secret that feels too heavy to speak out loud. You look like you got it all together, you serve at church, maybe you even lead a Bible study. You smile when you drop off the kids, but no one sees the other side of you, the one that comes out behind closed doors. At home, you are a completely different person. You yell, you explode, you scream at your kids, sometimes in their face. You tell them to shut up. You grab them too harshly. You throw things across the room. You smack them in anger, twist their ears, spank them in rage, and immediately after, you are hit with a tidal wave of shame. You cry alone in your room and you whisper, "God, what is wrong with me?" You feel scared and disgusted by your own reactions. You're terrified that someone might find out. You wonder if your kids would be better off without you. You feel unworthy, broken, and too far gone to be redeemed. You try to fix this on your own. You listen to podcasts, parenting books, download freebies, but nothing changes. You keep falling back into the same patterns, and it feels like you are stuck in a cycle that you can't break. You don't trust yourself anymore, and if you're honest, you are afraid of who you've become. But here's the truth, Mama. You are not beyond hope. You're not alone, and with God's help and the right support, you can change. I'm Elizabeth, a mom of 4 and an anger management coach for Christian moms. And inside my Calm Christian Mom coaching program, I guide women just like you through a powerful transformation. This isn't shallow behavior management. We go deep. We address your triggers, your stress, your mindset, your nervous system, and the spiritual root behind your patterns. We invite God into every layer and walk hand in hand towards healing. In just 12 weeks, you can become a completely different mom, unrecognizable. One who leads with patience, not panic. One whose children feel emotionally safe around her. One who cultivates peace. This summer, I'm offering a Calm Mama strategy session, a powerful 15-minute one-on-one coaching session designed to help you uncover the root of your anger and receive spiritual, emotional, and practical support. It's your chance to experience what coaching is like with me before diving deeper into ongoing support. If we both feel like the full program is the next right step, we can talk about what that looks like for you. You don't have to keep living like this. Your family is worth healing, and so are you. Use the link in the show notes to book the Calm Mama strategy session. Friend, do you feel completely hopeless and stuck in your anger struggle? Do you feel like you've done everything? You've read the books, you listened to the podcast, you maybe even bought passive courses to try to address this reactivity and feeling just constantly agitated, negative, and reactive as a mom? If this is you, I want to share a story with you today. On the podcast, I invited one of my clients that finished her coaching program in September. She started at the end of May and finished in September. She is a single mom of 2 young boys. And I want you to hear her story because if you feel that there's no hope for you, you feel like you can't change, you're doomed to be like this for the rest of your life, I want to encourage you and tell you there is hope for you. God can change your ways. God can renew your mind and renew your feelings and renew your actions. He can do the work in you. And if you want my support, I'm here to help you every step of the way. If this is something that really resonates with you and you want my encouragement, you want a hand, somebody hold your hand, really, to walk you through this journey, I have a step-by-step process, a program called Calm Christian Mom. It's 12 weeks long. And I offer payment plans to join the program. You can pay in full if you'd like to. This is the perfect time of the year because people are getting you gifts for Christmas. Your parents, your husband, your in-laws. How about this year? Maybe instead of buying a ton of toys for your kids that will contribute to you feeling overwhelmed and stressed out, and for grandparents to spend all that money on their grandkids, you ask for some of that money to be given to you for you to invest into a coaching program that's going to help you change your life and change your legacy and help you become the mom that you want to be for your kids. My program is 100% money back guarantee if you show up and you do the work that is required of you and you don't see the results. I will give you a full refund. But I promise you, if you show up and you do the work, you will see positive results. So if this is something that you've been thinking about, I want to encourage you to book a consultation call with me. The link is in the show notes. The price of the program is going to go up in the beginning of the new year. And if you've been thinking about it, this is the perfect time to join. I will support you through the holidays, when things feel stressful, when things feel overwhelming, to guide you how to take things off your plate, how to shift your mind, how to be a positive example for your kids when your expectations are not met, when things aren't going your way. When you feel so upset and dysregulated and reactive, I will teach you the tools that you need to change your ways, and God will do the rest. My friend, I am looking forward to connecting with you. And right now, I want you to listen to my conversation with Lara. In this episode, you're going to learn what led Lara to seek help for her anger struggle. What fears did she experience when she was joining the program? What was her experience like in this coaching program? What was her favorite tool that she learned that she is still using on a regular basis? How things are different now compared to when she started the program. And she shares a word of encouragement to mamas who feel stuck and hopeless in their anger. Hey, welcome to the show, Lara. I'm so excited to have you here. I would love for you to share a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me. Hi, I am Lara Ingram. I am a single mom of two very energetic boys who are 5 and 7. We live near former in-laws, their dad's grandparents. So they do help after school. But I don't have family nearby. And I am a full-time mom, so I work. And then our schedule is very busy, even though there's only a couple hours in the evening before bed. Being on the entire day, starting out in the morning, getting everybody ready, off to school, then I'm working, then we're coming home and we're doing dinner and getting everyone ready for bed. And the next day, it just can be grueling.
Yeah, yes, especially as a single parent when you don't have the ability to tag team and say, hey, somebody please take over. I'm having
Yeah.
a hard time. So tell me a little bit, what was going on and what was your life like when you decided to enroll into the coaching program?
I kept seeing patterns that were not being connective. So it was my boys and I were constantly in this state of they're going to gang up and not do what I want them to do. And I'm getting more and more frustrated and more exasperated. And then I'm ending up yelling. And it was just this vicious cycle of having guilt and shame and wishing things could be different, but feeling a little hopeless that they couldn't, and somewhat of a blame and guilt trip on myself because I did grow up in a house where there was a lot of yelling. And so I didn't know that I had that in me until I had kids. And then it was like, well, now how am I supposed to change?
Yeah, it's harder to change when you don't have that role model that you can look up to. And did you have any fears when you and I had a consultation call? Did you have any fears coming into this program? And if you did, what were they? Can you share with me?
Most definitely. And I will be glad to be honest. I have done counseling. I have sought out courses. I've read books, spoken to other moms, tried to be in church groups, secular groups. So part of me was just really afraid that this was not going to work and that our life might be like this for the long haul.
And that's a very hard place to be in. And what were you feeling like? Like, how would you describe yourself when you joined the coaching program?
I was excited first to get to be around other women, even if we're virtual, but I was glad to just have someone in my corner. So I was glad to have someone to talk to, even. whether that was through Voxer or just on our group calls, I was feeling very feeble and very tired and wasn't for sure what all to expect, but was willing to invest the money and the time because I wanted so badly for things to be different for my kids.
So, can you share with me what was your experience like when you joined the coaching program? And what was it like working together?
I had been drawn to do this course because I had listened to your podcast for some time and you were so calm and it was very like peaceful to like listen to your voice that sometimes I would even like fall asleep listening to the podcast. So getting to be part of the group, it was like, okay, I can't believe this woman knows anything about having a rough time with kids or getting rattled because she's so peaceful and calm. So I wanted to have that somehow transferred through the phone or video. And I also found you to be very strong and true to your word because whenever any of us would share an incident from the week, you had solid, sound, stern advice, but yet in a loving way. And so the way that you kind of helped us be reflective or introspective and speak is the way that I wanted to try to be with my boys, even though they're young, to connect with them, to let them know that they are seen and that I care for them.
I know that one of the biggest struggles that you faced when you were coming in, we had like, I think we have two. One of them is being burned out and running an empty, just a lot of output, and not taking care of your needs. And the other one was wanting to control things that are out of your control.
Oh, yes.
What would you say to those two things? Just knowing your history and a little bit of how we work together, I would say those are your probably two biggest things that you worked on a lot. And how would you say that has impacted you the way that you are today, now that you're done?
Well, definitely, I feel like it was divine timing when you had this course launch because I closed on a new house for the boys and I took out a very large chunk of retirement money. And it was a time where I could have potentially seen me really losing it because in May, when I started this course with you, it was right when I had just bought a house. And so I had just been through a very intense time of trying to close, come up with dollars and cents to make closing. And then the interest rates are so high. And it felt also, though, like a new chapter for us that we were embarking on a new life of our own, my boys and I, in our own house. So I did not feel the burnout or overwhelm until I was about a month or so into the course. And each week, as things were coming up that I was being asked that could stir me up, then it would be like the next class or the next week would be about now here's about unmet expectations, or here's how you can calm your nervous system. So it was kind of like I was going through the course, but at the same time also comforting and learning how to take care of myself and see where some of the gaps were that were letting me get burnt out. And so one of the big ones was I realized, and I gave myself permission, instead of fighting with one of my older sons to keep doing Taekwondo, he kept saying he didn't want to. I just called them and said, nope, we are not going to be able to come anymore because he would throw a fit and both boys would act crazy on the way. And then once we got there it was just stressful. And so I still had to pay for the 2 months because the contract was up, but I never regretted that. And it was learning what needs to be removed from our plate, what has to stay. So I have to go to work. They have to go to school. We do have to sleep. And so finding a way to make all of that work and slow down some and not give away too much of myself to a job or to anything that wasn't helping me be a better mom. I think because of this program, I feel more empowered. I don't feel like a victim of, oh, this is what I learned growing up and now this is all that I can do. This is the best I can do as a mom. Even though there's still going to be challenges with my boys, I do feel empowered because I feel like these tools have helped me.
You've come such a long way.
Thank
You
you.
did such a great job. I want to ask you, what was your favorite part about this coaching program?
I like the structure. I like the mix of being able to watch and listen to like a video each day of the week and then take time to ponder questions. And normally I am quick to answer, but those questions that come along with the weekly really had me thinking. Like some days it would take days and I would be like processing it and thinking through like, whoa, I never thought of it like that. Like somehow in just the question being asked, it would just bring up so many memories or thoughts. And so it was emotional, but it was also like part of the process for me to untangle some of that. And listening to you repeat things to us on our group calls or even in the lessons or on my calls with you. You are a good mom. You're just having a hard time. I started to believe that.
Hmm. Yeah, you are. You're doing a great job. Some days are just really hard. And I've told you this to any person that's in your exact position, right? Like if I was in your exact position, being a single mom, having your exact kids, having the same exact job, dealing with all the same exact things that you're dealing with, the stressors, I would have just as a hard time as you would, right? Like to have compassion and towards yourself, like I'm doing a great job. If my best friend was going through the same exact thing that I'm going through, I wouldn't tell her, "Oh, you're a terrible mom. Look at you, you're messing up your kid. Like you're not even meant to do this." Like, but we say that to ourselves, right? Because like the enemy speaks those lies over us and then we believe him and then we say that to ourselves as well. All those negative you are statements that the enemy tells us. We turn them in onto ourselves and believe them as I am statements. And that's one of the things that we worked on in the coaching program, creating an I am statement that really lights you up, that supports you, and that helps you show up as the mom that you want to be. What is something that you've learned in the coaching program that is something that you still use on a regular basis that's been helpful?
So the mindset swaps and that shifting from these negative thoughts to the positive of I can do hard things or I can wait. Because if I'm frustrated in the moment and I'm like, oh, it's making me wait and we're running late, I cannot do this, which was a standard for me. And now I am able to say, I can wait, or I can see you're having a hard time listening. I can help you. So I think a lot of it is the mindset and realizing that it's not about changing their behavior, but being regulated myself, which was something that I could honestly admit to myself was just sort of spiraling out of control. And so now I'm able to take a tool like, okay, I can see I'm getting charged here. Let me walk away for a moment and breathe
And just even learning how to process emotions and release
and
them in a healthy
process.
way instead of just stuffing it and then unintentionally taking it out on our children because we're feeling yucky internally. Like I remember there were several times where you were just having a rough week at work and you decided to take a sick day because you knew if you continued to go to work the next day, you would push your past your limits and then you would have a harder time with the kids. And you had the ability to take a sick day and you were able to honor yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, this is what's going to serve me right now. This is how I can take care of myself so then I can take better care of my kids when I have them for the weekend. And like, I don't think you would have done that in the past. I feel like that is something that you've learned and you were able to implement and just even shifting from those guilty thoughts, like I shouldn't do this, like this is bad of me to do this, like this is how I can support myself so I can show up as a better mom for my kids. So I have more capacity for my children this coming weekend because especially with you, you're a single parent, which means you're on like mentally and emotionally and physically all the time with them. Tell me, where do you think you would be today if you would not do this work?
I looked back over my early weeks in my journal and I had written probably in the first few weeks that I should talk to Elizabeth about this. And it was related to being in a go, 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 rush, rush, rush mindset of like, I think it was almost keeping me alive, survival skill of just to-do list, got to do this, got to do that, got to get kids up, got to go to work, come home, got to do it. And it was not fun. And I was becoming exhausted by it. And I guess I had started to believe that, well, this is what I get for, and now I'm having to be a single mom and it's just going to be hard like this. And I knew deep in my soul that if I didn't try something new, it was not going to be pretty. I don't know what, but a nervous breakdown, which is possible even for normal parenting, I would think. And just being kind to myself, that it's not helpful to anyone if I'm having negative thoughts and also stuffing emotions and trying to pretend. Kids see right through that.
You've come a long way. I'm so proud of you for
Thank
showing up
you.
for yourself and doing this hard work, because sometimes you just want to give up because things feel really, really hard. And tell me where you are now today. I know there's always work for us, right? There's always things to work on. And even though I know a lot of things, I still have a lot of things to work on. I've come a long way in the past 5 years, but I still have a lot of work on me to do. Can you tell me, compared to where you were when you first started the coaching program to where you are now? Like, tell me how you feel now, how you show up, like on a regular basis, and even like those I am statements. What do you believe about yourself now compared to when you started?
The word that keeps coming to mind is worthy. Unfortunately, especially even in Christian circles, being divorced is not a fun thing to have be discussed or be a fact of life, but it is Christians, non-Christians. And so I have been part of groups before or not been invited to groups before because of that. And even though it's somewhat recently new, like within 3 years, it feels debilitating. But I never felt that with the ladies and the moms in this program or with you. I feel worthy. I feel that I was able to understand that parenting is hard. And that was a lot of times you reminding me of that. And you saying, you are a good mom, you're just having a hard time. And by starting to believe that, I'm able to believe that about my kids, that they're not doing this to me, that God is doing this for me, or that I should get curious, like you say, and try to understand and empathize with them so that they feel validated. And I can't do that if I am stuck in self-pity or overexhausted or upset by something that somebody said or attempted to make me feel. I have to focus in on us as a family and what's best for me, and that's staying regulated.
And you've come such a long way from when you first joined and just not even know how to regulate yourself and just constantly being in that low capacity. I don't know if it was like a 9 out of 10 that you felt to most days, or, like really close to losing your cool. But I feel like you've come such a long way. What would you say to that?
Yes, definitely seeing some progress in the not yelling every day. Definitely understanding and realizing, okay, I am feeling escalated at this moment. I can walk away for a moment and just take a breath and give myself permission to feel however I'm feeling, just like a kid would like to be, whether it's right or wrong. I see you're feeling this. And so I came into the program thinking about, how are we going to regulate these children? How are we going to fix these children? And a lot of that is involving helping me regulate through self-care and positive mindset swaps and just communicating better, which I always thought I did because I am a communicator. That's what I do for a living. But it's a new season to be a mom, and things that we may have worked on as a single person, it's very different. And I feel very empowered. And I'm so glad that I met you and that I know you and that I've done this work.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. What would you say to the mama who feels hopeless and stuck in her anger and feels like she can never change?
Mom, you are not alone. God did not make a mistake. You are meant to be this mom, and you are not left to your own devices. Hard things happen to all of us, and this program is worth your time because you're going to get the support that you need and the resources to help you be the mom you are inside.
Thank you so much. That is beautifully said. And I really appreciate you saying that to the mama that's listening, one of the biggest areas that God probably sanctifies us as parents is letting go of control. Because as humans, we want to have other control. And the Bible calls us to have self control. Here we are having a hard time having self control, controlling our own emotions and anger, right? Our own habits. And then we just want other control over our kids and spouses and like other circumstances. And then God tells us you need to have self control.
Yeah,
You're responsible for yourself, what you think, what you say, what you do. That's what you're gonna like when you stand in front of the Lord, that's what you're gonna answer for. Your
that is, yes,
right.
that really spoke to me one week when you were saying that, about that, because I think I thought when I moved into this house, the new house, that it was going to be, oh, I'm going to be so great now because we're away from past memories of the old marriage and the old house. And it's like, oh, look at this. I'm still yelling and trying to control. You can't out physically move wanting to
Yeah.
control.
Yeah, and it's like it's an ongoing life thing, like where you're working on yourself regularly. You're learning tools that support you. You're recognizing things that are not serving you. You're changing old patterns. You are like being intentional. It's a lifelong journey. It's not just, yes, like working together for 3 to 4 months. It's wonderful and it's great. And it's something that we need to continue on doing. Some of us more than others, right? And I just want to encourage you to continue to stay in this work. Either go back and go look over the program, like the content, go listen to
Oh, I
recordings
plan
of
to.
the coaching calls, whatever
Yes.
you need to do. Maybe just make a habit every time when you drive to work, or you're going to listen to either an episode or listen to a training just because you want to continue to have that in the beginning, like in the front of your mind, because it's so easy to just let it go. It's so easy. And that's exactly what the enemy wants you to do. He wants you to just kind of step away from it and just fall back into your old patterns. And this takes intentionality, but I think you've made big progress in these several months and you know what to do. You know, like that's the thing. When you came in here, I think you were at a loss and you had no idea. What do I do? That's part of the reason why people feel hopeless and despair is because they feel so overwhelmed with the circumstances.
Mm.
I just don't know what to do. Things feel so hard. I don't know where to start, and I don't even know what to do to help the challenging circumstance. And then you're in a place where you have tools and you know, like even if you had a rough day with your family, with your kiddos, you can reflect on it. You have the tools how to reflect. And you can look back and you're like, okay, I know what to do. I know what contributed to it and I know what changes I need to do moving forward. And even just like praying, God, please guide me, like show me what I need to do differently moving forward. So,
That was life changing that week where I think I must have brought it up on a group call. And you said, well, the opposite side of rage is helplessness. Because I said, I just sometimes feel, what's the word? And I just think I said helpless because I don't know what I should be doing. And so then that was just like, oh, there's a reason behind my rage. And I'm feeling
mm,
super triggered.
when you came in, you felt helpless, triggered, exhausted.
Oh, yes. Just very disappointed and a lot of resentment. And just so that just led to a really bad attitude, probably
Mhm.
because of some of the negative things that I was believing or holding on to.
And how would you say you are right now?
That I'm
Mm.
more balanced, that I've let go of perfection and I've learned to slow down. And when I start to feel myself going back to where I was, I pray, if it's on my knees or out loud, or just taking a deep breath inside my head, even if I'm in public, to have God just sort of help me reset and point me in the right direction so I'm not going off path.
Yeah, let go of some of that control.
And that it's okay for me to have feelings, that this was not my intent to have to be divorced and have my kids have to go through that. But I do have emotions. God made me who I am. And if I need to feel those, that's okay. Because if I don't, it's going to come out in some other unhealthy way. So writing
Mhm.
it down, taking time for myself to process is
Mhm.
needed and okay.
Yeah, and just like knowing that you are valuable and that you are important. I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Lara and you feel a little bit of hope and knowing that there is hope for you to change, that you don't have to stay in your ways. You don't have to stay stuck. That is a lie from the enemy. He wants you to think that there's no hope for you. He wants you to stay stuck. He wants you to believe the lies that you will never change, that you're ruining your kids for life, that this is too late. And I want to invite you and tell you that is a lie. And there is the truth that God is able to do anything. He can transform your life. He can make positive changes in your life. You just need some guidance and support. If you don't know this yet, studies have shown that when you work with a coach and you have that accountability and support, your success rate goes to 95%. That is how I guarantee your results, that if we work together, your success rate will go up to 95%. Because I'm working really intimately with you. I check in with you Monday through Friday through Boxer. We have weekly group coaching calls. You have 3 one-on-one calls with me. I check in with you regularly to make sure you're doing the work, that you're implementing what you're learning. And I want to encourage you that God has chosen you out of all the women in the world to be your children's mom. You have the most impact on your children. You have the most influence on them. You shape their future. You shape their lives, what they believe about themselves, and how they learn how to manage their emotions. You set that example for them. And if you want them to learn how to manage their emotions well, it starts with you and you modeling that, not just telling them what to do, but showing them what to do. And I can help you. If you're ready for changes right now in your life, and you want to get a head start before the new year, I want to invite you to book a consultation call with me. The price will go up in the new year. So if this is something that is calling your name, I'm here to support you. Use the link in the show notes to book a consultation call and let's talk about how I can help you. Hey mama, do you find yourself snapping over the smallest things, like spilled milk or constant whining, then feeling horrible afterwards? If you're tired of losing your temper and you want to show up with more patience, I have something for you. It's a free training called How to Be More Patient with Your Kids so you're not screaming over spilled milk. Inside, I'll walk you through 10 simple things you can start doing today to become a calmer, more Christ-like mom, even on the hard days. To get it for free, just leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and send a screenshot to hello@emotionallyhealthylegacy.com. Or if you'd rather skip the wait, you can grab it right now for just $27. The link is in the show notes. Let's help you become the peaceful, patient mom your kids need.